Engineering plays a critical role in shaping the future of any nation, from stronger infrastructure and smarter cities to sustainability, innovation, and resilience. And this May, some of the region's brightest engineering minds will gather in Trinidad and Tobago for the APET Technical Conference 2026, the flagship event of the Association of Professional Engineers of Trinidad and Tobago. And this takes place on May 12th and 13th at the Hyatt Regency in Port of Spain. And the conference will bring together engineers, researchers, educators, and industry leaders for 2 days of technical discussion, groundbreaking ideas, and future-focused solutions under the theme Engineering Our Future, Sustainable, Smart, Resilient. Well, joining us this morning to tell us more are APET Vice President Ryan Roper and Public Relations Officer Ezekiel York. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So, for viewers who may not be familiar, tell us exactly who is APET and the role the organization plays in TNT.
Yeah. APET is the Association of Professional Engineers of Trinidad and Tobago, and we've been around since 1959. So we're older than Trinidad has been independent. And we are responsible really for we're the national voice of engineers across Trinidad and Tobago. Everything that you see in the built environment, highways, buildings, foundations, walls, it's done by engineers. We've got civil engineers, computer engineers even, all fall under the umbrella of APET.
Yeah. So now you have your flagship event about to take place. So tell me about this, and I think it's been around for quite a bit. And what is going to make the 2026 edition particularly significant?
So ATC 2026, or what we like to call APET Technical Conference, is rather continued reawakening of something that has been, emerging in the country and in the world for some time. That's sustainability. So we are integrating the idea and theme of, energy saving, sustainability in terms of manufacturing, electrical, civil engineering, as well as ethics, as well as new policies to make engineering safer and more structurally sound across the Caribbean region, not just Trinidad and Tobago. So we are inviting, or rather we have invited, a number of practical and research-oriented ideas, through our civil engineers, electrical engineers, mechanical, manufacturing, across a wide band of engineering fraternity to come and voice their opinions, voice their ideas. And not just the researchers, but also anyone who would like to come and hear these ideas, discuss them, and more importantly, put them into practical application.
Yeah. So the theme that I mentioned earlier, it's called Engineering Our Future, Sustainable, Smart, Resilient. So describe that theme for me, and how will that translate into the conference?
So we face many challenges across the Caribbean. From drainage and water management issues to understanding the new technologies and innovations and applying them. So let's start with smart, for example. When you think of smart, the first thing some people think about is smart TVs and the Internet of Things and these devices that are now intertwined with our everyday life. So how do we now move towards real-time monitoring and tracking of systems? And then when people think of smart, they also think about the acronym SMART, the acronym, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound. We want to really get, as Engineer York talked about, we want to get these ideas moved into becoming execution and becoming reality and being smart about it in that perspective. When we talk about sustainable, we talk about solar, we talk about wind, we talk about all other types of renewable forms of energy, and how do we implement those within our built environment today. And then when we talk about resilience, we're talking about climate pressures. How do we build our buildings or modernize our buildings so that they can withstand the storms, withstand the earthquakes that are coming more and more, as we've seen in Jamaica recently with Melissa.
Yeah. Now, what can we expect in this 2-day conference? So it's 2 days. The dates are, I believe, 12th and 13th?
12th and 13th.
So that's just a little while away.
Yeah.
So lots to do, I can only imagine. But what can we expect in the conference itself? What will be discussed? Who are the people who will be presenting? What can we look forward to?
Right. So it's a plethora of different researchers, engineers, as well as possible guests like ministers, as as well as very prominent persons in the field. So from professional engineers to doctors to also PhD and student engineers are coming to bring the ideas to the forefront. So for example, we have ideas such as things that will make roads more resilient and more sustainable, more long-lasting. So for example, we have ideas that are implementing rubberized material into asphalt to make it more long-lasting. We also have ways of collecting rainwater through something called water harvesting for flood mitigation. We have a number of other ideas when it comes to sustainability, such as solar and water energy use, as well as the ethics when it comes to implementing new policies, lean policies, strategies that will make engineering safer, as well as the management and execution of it a lot more guideline-oriented.
Now, who is this conference tailored to? Is it only for engineers? Can other people attend?
We are inviting everyone to come. To implement some of these solutions, we need stakeholders. We need stakeholders across the board, from young engineers, let's start with students. Engineering students, we want you to come, meet mentors, get mentored, get guidelines, understand the process of matriculation through UE and UTT, get some ideas of how to do that. Even if you want to get a summer internship or July, August vacation internship with people like myself, for example, senior engineers, young professionals, we want you to come. You don't just get a degree and then build a building. You've got to get mentorship, you've got to get that experience, and you can meet these people at the conference.
Great networking as well. You never know who you're going to meet.
Exactly.
At the end of day one, we're going to have a cocktail experience where you can meet and mingle with experienced engineers. But we also want business leaders, we also want entrepreneurs, we also want policymakers, because again, we want to move ideas into execution. And again, we need a multidisciplined approach to ensure that these ideas turn into reality.
And give us the details of the conference now for those of us who want to attend.
Sure. So on the first day, we'll be greeted with a panel discussion. Of course, we'll be having breakout rooms where you'll be going into different themes, where there'll be a number of different presentation rooms. And then, of course, at the end of the day, there'll be a cocktail receptions where we'll have that opportunity to do some networking. And of course, I also want to stress as well that we'll be having a student competition that's currently active, where students can actually, post a TikTok kind of oriented video where they're talking about their understanding of what smart, sustainable, and resilient means as it, relates to the conference, and not just the conference itself, but engineering as a whole.
Yeah, and their interpretation of this theme. That's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
So where can we get more information about all of this? Do you have to register for the conference? Can you tell us where we can get that information?
Sure. So you can register and get all the information that you'll need by visiting our website, ATC2026.
That's on the screen for you now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can also call the office at 627-6697 or contact the office manager at office@apet.org. So you'll get all the information in terms of registration links, the pricing of the tickets, as well as the location right there.
And what are you looking forward to most in this, Mr. Roper?
I believe this is a learning and networking experience. And what I'd like to see is that greater awareness of what engineers do. We just heard about the Mokojumbi in San Fernando, the foundations. Engineers are required.
Right.
For every aspect of life, engineers are required.
Absolutely.
And what I'd like to see from this is that the general public is more aware of engineering, what we do. We're focused on ensuring integrity of engineers and the highest standards of engineering practice, and that is global. And what I'd like to see as well is that ideas turn into execution. I'd like to see conversations turn into projects. And what we'd like to see, of course, is strategy turn into that execution, and people get together and form committees and groups and even businesses that turn these solutions into reality.
And generally a greater appreciation for engineers and the work that they do.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for being here with us this morning. And we're looking forward to the APET Technical Conference 2026.